When I first came to jail, almost every night I would have a dream about having a pipe in my hand and cocaine in it. Every morning when I get up, I'll be so upset, so depressed, because I'm in jail. I don't have a pipe in my hand. It was just a dream.
Darush is in jail because he got caught with crack cocaine.
Since I've taken this acupuncture, I haven't had any dream like that.
Prisoners getting acupuncture in jail? Yes, but not for the usual bad backs or headaches. They're being treated for drug addiction at the Biscaloo Recovery Center in California, a minimum security prison run by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Drug offenders here can opt for ear acupuncture as part of their recovery program. According to program supervisor Louis Lopez, about 90% of them do.
They all like doing it. They look forward to it. Sometimes they fight it to get in line, see who goes first.
But someone they probably don't elbow out of line is the administrator. Louis Lopez says he sometimes gets acupuncture to calm down.
When the needles start, when she starts putting them in your ears, you can start feeling it right away. From where we sit, it makes our job easier. The guys are more willing to learn. I know the guys that come in withdrawing from heroin and their body's aching, it helps them. Like I said, it takes away headaches, body aches, cravings for wanting drugs. That's really what, when they first put it in place, it was for that.
This is one of about 600 drug treatment programs in the country, both in and outside of jail, using acupuncture. Inmates' days here are highly regimented, with most of their time spent in 12-step classes, which emphasize a spiritually based, self-help approach to fighting drug addiction. But probably no activity other than acupuncture produces this kind of reaction.
Like immediately after, I am like in this euphoric state and everything's like really light, and it's almost like a dream-like state. It's really nice, it's really calm. It is a really relaxing thing, and there is like sort of a super focus that I experience.
Michaela says he was a crystal methamphetamine addict, but he says on the 2 days of the week he receives acupuncture, he feels a difference.
There is a lot more sense of calm that I experience. It seems like I have to put a lot less effort into my acceptance level and, calming myself when I am doing acupuncture.
Chris Michaels says he didn't expect acupuncture to do him any good after using drugs for about 30 years. But he soon found out that his acupuncture sessions had some distinct advantages.
After about 15 minutes of group therapy, listening to someone else's despair, I get really impatient with the whole thing.
But Chris says he's come to believe that acupuncture really does help with his addiction. So much so, after he was released from jail, he decided to continue with it at an outpatient treatment center. Officials in Chris's drug treatment program emphasize that acupuncture cannot actually replace drug counseling. Acupuncturist Karen Hillsdale agrees. But she adds, it does help addicts become more open to counseling, because acupuncture helps reduce cravings and withdrawal symptoms.
We just have a very solid track record of centers all over the country and now all over the world of using this tool with people at all stages of recovery, including immediate detox.
How can acupuncture help addicts? Experts don't know for sure, but here's the theory. The ear is a microcosm of the human body, positioned upside down. So put an acupuncture needle here, and you affect the thyroid. Here, the eyes. But using acupuncture to treat addiction is a recent innovation, and one that was discovered accidentally. Terry Olson, psychobiologist and ear acupuncture researcher, explains.
In Hong Kong, in the 1970s, there was a Dr. Wynn, H.L. Wynn, who, as a Hong Kong doctor, knew acupuncture. And he basically was interested in treating patients who were recovering from surgery and wanted to help them to have less pain and less toxic reaction to anesthesia as they were coming out of surgery.
So the neurosurgeon experimented on some of his patients by using a couple of standard ear acupuncture points. Nguyen said these patients did tolerate the anesthesia better, but there was an unexpected effect on the patients who were drug abusers.
The opiate addicts who he had seen came to him and complained that they didn't like the procedure because they didn't get the same kind of high that they had gotten from heroin and opium and so forth.
Since that initial discovery, acupuncturists have developed a standard 5-point method to treat addiction. Needles are inserted into the so-called kidney, liver, and lung points, which are thought to help detox the body. A point known as Shinmin is used to reduce stress and pain, and the sympathetic point, Dr. Olson says, increases circulation.
Whether you're treating someone for cocaine or heroin or alcohol or marijuana, you use the same 5 points. And to Western mind, that doesn't make sense because they're all biochemically different. But the idea in acupuncture philosophy is that you're not really, blocking the chemical as much as you're turning on the body's ability to detoxify from the addictive chemical.
Psychologist James Sorensen has his reservations about using acupuncture on addicts.
The scientific evidence has not really caught up to that. This is a case where something has been disseminated well beyond what the scientific evidence would indicate.
From the viewpoint of Western science, he says, there's little evidence to prove acupuncture does anything for them.
It's just vastly understudied, and so there's a need to find out to what degree this is useful in people who have drug problems.
Sorensen, a UC San Francisco researcher, is part of a team trying to do just that. The study, headed up by researchers at Yale University, is looking at the effects of acupuncture on more than 500 cocaine users in 6 treatment centers across the country.
I think when the results of well-controlled studies come out, if they're positive, then some people will be more convinced.
Besides being used to treat drug addicts, ear acupuncture is also used to help fight another form of addiction. This one, legal, smoking. Denise Richardson says she needed a cigarette when she drank coffee, when she talked on the phone, and when she got stressed out. So after 25 years of smoking, she decided to try acupuncture to help her quit.
After you get over the first 3 days, then I didn't feel like I had to smoke anymore.
And after just one acupuncture treatment, Denise says, she noticed a difference.
It's like if you smoked a whole pack of cigarettes, one right after the other. They just don't taste good.
That's what Carolyn Skolvnik hopes will happen to her.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you doing?
This is Carolyn's 6th visit to Thomas Lee, a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. But Lee's method of treating smokers differs from traditional acupuncture. He uses small needles that actually remain in the patient's ear and can be pressed whenever a patient has a craving or a withdrawal symptom. Carolyn tried to quit cold turkey, but that was far from pleasant.
Because your body is detoxifying, you experience headaches, dizziness, you can't think straight.
Not so with acupuncture, Carolyn says. This time around, kicking the habit has been relatively painless.
Okay, that's all we need to have.
Carolyn says she's gone from smoking a pack and a half to just 10 cigarettes a day.
I think it was more after the 3rd and 4th treatments. The cigarettes just didn't taste good. Then I started thinking about it less. Where you don't, you start losing the cravings. So that's pretty much the phase that I'm in right now.
Dr. Lee says that acupuncture treatment for smokers is not a panacea.
For those people who have more positive attitude toward the treatment and have a stronger willpower, usually we have a very high successful rate. But for those people who's not certain, not sure, or they have some family, friends who's a smoker around, and they have a more hardship and difficulty in quitting completely.
Denise Richardson would probably agree with that. After being smoke-free for about 6 months, she started to light up with friends.
So then the next thing you know, you're buying a pack of cigarettes and you say, oh, I'll just have 2 today. And then the next day you have 3, and then you have 4, and then the next thing you know, you're back smoking again.
Denise blames her lapse not on acupuncture, but on her lack of willpower. She says she still believes acupuncture makes quitting easier. So much so, she says she plans to use it again to help her quit this time around.
I just have to get myself in that frame of mind again and just be really committed to it. And, you know, I hope I'm successful.
Success for Dariush would mean completing his drug treatment program. His reward, the end of a decade-old crack habit. An end, he says, acupuncture will have helped bring about.
It's a good treatment. I would, if anybody needs it, I would just go for it because it helped me, and I'm sure it can help them too.